the NFC side of things, NFC Championship game was the first game that came on last night, and this one was a blowout. The Chiefs, not Chiefs, but the Eagles won 55-23 over the Washington Commanders. They scored the most points in conference championship history last night. Jalen Hurts, 20 of 28, 246 yards passing, 1 touchdown. He had 3 on the ground, a couple of those with a tush push, brotherly shove, with whatever the hell they call it now. And in a losing effort, Jaden Daniels, 29 of 48, 1 touchdown, 1 BLT at the end. I'm gonna give it to you first because I know you said you had something about Jalen you wanted to say.
No, I just feel like we don't give Jalen Hurts enough credit. I feel like, no, don't get me wrong. Okay. Jalen Hurts be making every quarterback has a bozo gene though. It's like in the DNA. You're just making questionable decisions. But I feel like we treat Jalen Hurts like a fucking Make-A-Wish quarterback. Like he's just happy to be there and like his team is just like taking him along for the ride. I feel like we gotta put some respect on his name. That was a great game yesterday.
I put it like this. This is my take on Jalen Hurts. Now this is not gonna obviously help my I hate black quarterbacks thing.
Never meeting the allegations.
I'm never gonna beat in the allegations. But I don't. This thing. He makes plays, right? I'm not high on his coach either. This thing about the Eagles, which is weird to me. I don't think Nick Sirianni is the best coach, and I don't think that Jalen Hurts is the best passer of the football. But that nigga makes plays when it's time to make plays, and he wins a game. He's the first person since Jim Kelly to lose a Super Bowl and make it back. Nobody else has done that. That is an incredible stat to me. Very rarely, even when they do lose games, does it really be because of him? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I feel like that's saying that you have to give him credit for. Even the Super Bowl they lost 2 years ago, you can argue that he was the best player on the field, no matter who. He said, no, he's way better than Purdy. I'm not gonna let y'all do that. We're not gonna do that. He's a better player than Brock Purdy. But I think it is because he does have such a stacked team that maybe people don't give him the benefit of the doubt. But I do think we got to treat him as a winner. I don't know where I rank him in my top 10 quarterback list. But I know when you're going to the NFC, he can't be any lower than top 3 just off what he's done. But Tosin, what do you think about Jalen Hurts and his play?
Jalen Hurts is a great game manager who has a really good offensive line. And the system just fits. It works for him. Also, it doesn't help that Jalen Hurts is also like extremely like gets the ladies going. So a lot of dudes hate him for that. So it's just like niggas is mad at a handsome game manager, and it's tough, you know. And he's just doing what he does. And it doesn't help also that Jalen is 26, but also 56 at the same time. He comes to games wearing Kangos and shit. So people will have reason to hate on him, but he's doing what he does. Back-to-back Super Bowls, you can't hate on that at all. And he's doing what he does. And I'm not mad. Like, I'm generally not mad because you have to get the job done. You have to play mistake-free football, and he's been doing that in the playoffs. And the Eagles are where they are. And he fits them, in a weird way. Like, it's perfect. Like, they literally all, he's not going to throw the sexiest throws. It's not his game. His game is to, give it to his running back, run maybe, get a good little option play. Then that's what he does. But I'm not mad at him because the NFC sucks as far as quarterbacks. He dresses like Montel Jordan. Absolutely does.
He do dress
like Shamar Moore in 2000.
What was it? Kyron said he looked like Ahmad Rashad yesterday.
Yeah, that wasn't Ahmad Rashad fit he had on. But yeah,
someone said, someone said he dresses like the boyfriend on like a black sitcom that comes on the
he looked like the nigga who they want to act like Queen Latifah would date on Living Single.
The dude, what's the dude, the light-skinned dude from the crib that anytime he come on the show, you know that the season is gonna be the final season. What's the name?
You talking about my man from Different World?
Yeah, what's my man name that got his ass whooped on Soul Food?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
That nigga.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name though. He look like he about to go sleep with Cousin Faith. That's what he look like. But Bang, how do you properly evaluate Jalen Hurts?
Man, that's a loaded question.
Exactly.
And it's a loaded question because we still look at like pocket quarterbacks and all of that stuff. And then you look at what Patrick Mahomes do. And then you look at that at Hurts and you like, he kind of like in the middle of all of that. And he's like, it's weird saying he's like poor man's Lamar Jackson.
That's crazy.
Considering that he's been to now 2 Super Bowls. But he's poor man's Lamar Jackson. Like Lamar Jackson to me is more accurate. He's the better passer. He's the better runner and everything. He's the better athlete. And then you got Hurts, who's like all of that, but just a lesser version. Now, that just shows you how great Lamar Jackson is to me and what he might not have around him that Hurts got. Hurts got, man, running backs, 2 wide receivers. He's set at the tight end position. He has probably the best offensive line in the league. And on defense, he got a hell of a defense. He got great coaches. Jalen Hurts is when you say drafting matters, because I think you could probably put a couple of other quarterbacks in the position that Hurts is in, and they might just be successful. That's how good he has it around him. So the other reason why I think it's kind of hard to evaluate, because you got Lamar Jackson, who just got a Pro Bowl wide receiver for the first time. His best wide receiver was a tight end for years. And that motherfucker dropped the ball. Sorry, Tosin.
And fumbled.
And fumbled. You got Joe Burrow, who offensive line still huff. Right? You got Josh Allen, who be playing by himself sometimes. And then you look at that lineage of like Alabama QBs. They're either like Tua or Jalen Milroe.
Yeah.
So it's hard to evaluate him, in my opinion, until he's playing with less than. But I don't want him to play with less than. I want greatness to be surrounded. I want you to be surrounded by greatness. So do your thing.
I just feel like it's unfair to Jalen Hurts because Howie Roseman has built a really good team.
Very unfair.
Like, you know how, like, bro was just a winner. 2 natties, college football playoff appearance, playoffs, Super Bowl, playoffs, Super Bowl. I'm just saying, like, you don't just stumble into that. Like, I really think it's unfair for people to say that he's essentially just being carried by the rest of his team. I feel like
I want to be clear.
No, I wasn't saying that you said that.
No, but I feel you. I just want to make it clear. I'm not saying he's being carried at all. It is unfair to do that, but on the flip side of it, it's like, man, you got all of that around you. But when he run off a couple of them runs, that run that they took back, that run that he scored on, and some of them other joints, you like, okay, Purdy ain't doing that shit.
Nope.
Yeah, and I think too, I gotta give some love to the Eagles general manager, just their front office ownership in general. As a fan of a team that I hope is going in the right direction, and that Kevin Warren is bringing some balance and having a charter franchise actually act like the charter franchise. I hope that we can get to that. I gotta give they are the gold standard in the NFC. In 8 seasons, this is their 3rd Super Bowl appearance, and they have been they're 1-1 in the first 2 right now, and it was 3 different teams, 3 different rosters, and they still made it back. And they've even been to NFC championship games through that time as well. You got an owner in Jeffrey Lurie who is in talks to try to buy the Boston Celtics. And if you're a Boston Celtics fan, you should love that because he obviously cares about winning. Howie Roseman, best general manager in football, in my opinion. The way that they draft, the way they continuously add. Quinyon Mitchell, another great draft pick. Jalen Carter, who I said on draft day, I didn't care what all the controversy that was around him, the Bears should have took him. And I'm not saying that I don't think Darnell Wright won't be a good right tackle. I think he's gonna be a good right tackle. Might even be a damn good right tackle. But that guy to me has superstar written all over him. Jalen Carter, and that's somebody I wish they should have got. Bill Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis, and just all the different things. Then getting Saquon Barkley. I want to give more love to that. And I always go back to this, what Michael Jordan said about he didn't like how Jerry Cross said organizations win championships. And I get what he's saying, because at the end of the day, you can have the best organization, best coaching, but if you don't have the roster to do it, it don't matter. So Mike wasn't wrong in that, but neither was Jerry Cross. Very rarely do you see teams win championships with bad front offices and bad management, or at the least bad ownership, but they at least let their guys do the job. And that's what you're seeing in Philadelphia. And you want to surround your quarterback with great talent. And so I think when people use it against him, that's unfair. My biggest criticism is like, I don't think like he's the best at throwing sometimes, but if he gets it done and they're winning, it don't really matter. How you win don't really even matter. So that's kind of what goes to Saquon Barkley. Oh, go ahead. My bad, Tosin. Go ahead.
I want to add to your point about like the organizations. There's a reason why every year we're in like December, January talking about the same teams in the NFL: the Bills, the Ravens, the Niners, even the Rams. Like we laugh at the Rams for like when they won the Super Bowl, they bet all their chips in, but the Rams rebuilt really quickly with Jared Verse and all those other dudes and Brandon Fisk. It's like the best teams in every single sport. I don't care what sport you're in. If your organization is not good, it's gonna show. And there's a reason why there's the same teams drafted in the top 10 every single year, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing in the draft. It's why someone like Kyle Hamilton will fall to 14, because you keep overthinking the dumb things. It's why like Ty Linderbaum will fall to 26. They're all the Ravens draft well. No, we just take advantage of the fact you guys are stupid. So it's like the best teams all ran well every single year, and that's why they pick in last. And that's why they pick in and find a way to get these players, because that's what good teams do. It starts from the top and it goes all the way down to your team. So, that was just something that came to my head when you said that. Even the Bills, they draft well as well.
That's true. They just have the unfortunate of being in I thought being in the same division with Aaron Rodgers was a pain in the ass. No, being in the same conference with Patrick Mahomes. Like, I know if the Bears ever do get to the Super Bowl again, I just got to hope that one of y'all niggas knock him out. I just gotta hope that somebody knock him out. That I ain't gotta run into him before I get in there, man. But
that's the craziest thing about the AFC is like you think about it in quarterbacks, it's like you got Lamar, you got Josh Allen, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Joe Burrow, and it's just like, yo, wait, this is a gauntlet. This shit don't make any sense. And you got CJ Stroud. It's like, yo, somebody go to NFC. Somebody just request a trade and go to an NFC team. Because you're not going to win. Like, not everyone's going to get a ring. And it's unfortunate, but that's just the way the AFC is built. Just a bunch of dogs and quarterbacks.
And that's also why I never believed the Ben Johnson Raider stuff, which as we found out this weekend from his own agent, there was bullshit that he made up to get the Bears to pay up. I was like, nobody wants to start their career and not only the same conference as Patrick Mahomes, but same division as Mahomes.
Wait a minute. You say he did what?
You didn't watch the Rick Smith interview?
Fam,
So we'll get more into it in the local hour. Rick Smith had an interview with Bill Zimmerman of Bears Banter, and he said that the Raiders that he made up. This is bullshit. They made that up so they could take the smoke away and pay him more. But there's a lot of more good things he said. We'll get into that in the local hour. But we got to talk about Saquon Barkley. We got to talk about Saquon Barkley. No way you can talk about this Eagles run without Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, he went for 118 yards rushing off 15 carries, 3 touchdowns. A lot of them were like the goal line touchdowns, which they owed him for as many as they took away from him with the brotherly shove this year. But one amazing touchdown on like the first or second play.
It was the first, wasn't it?
I think it was the first or second. I think
it was his first carry.
It was the second play.
Matter of fact, his first 2 carries. Yeah, his first 2 carries was touchdowns. Though.
Just ridiculous. I've said this all year, and I'm gonna continue to say it, even though I know it's not a quarterback award. That is the MVP. I'm sorry. We have not seen a running back do this probably since Adrian Peterson. Like, it's just crazy. And it also, I know Giants fans are tired of hearing about it, but maybe your GM should have signed a nigga. I'm sorry. Like, nothing stops you from re-signing him. Like we keep saying, oh, you had the same record. You don't let a talent like that go away. And now the good thing with being with the Eagles is that more people get to see just how great of a player he is. And this is the one fact that why I think that they have a fighting chance to beat the Chiefs because of just how good Saquon has been. He's literally like a video game, bro. Like there's nothing you can do. That first touchdown, any other running back just stopped. He hit him with a juke move, he gone. And he is just like he's added to the Eagles culture. I got a lot of Philly homies. They mess with him, and I just feel like that's a good part to the team. And this is one of the best performances we've seen. And we're also seeing that running backs is still important. Running backs still important. People trying to phase them out. Oh, it don't matter. You just get a two-back system. No, you have a dog like that, you're going to go to another level because the Eagles play how everybody else doesn't play. We're going to run the football, and then we're going to have a quarterback who can make plays when we need them to make. Courtney, what do you think about Saquon's performance, not just last night, but this entire playoff, entire season?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sound like a real hater. I'm gonna sound like a real. First off, they need the Howie Roseman needs to send edible arrangements to New York immediately. What a season. I really don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said. Hell of a performance. And honestly, I really think, I know we're going to get into Super Bowl talk and all that. He's the very much the X factor in this game. Also, Kenneth Gainwell had a great game yesterday too.
Yeah.
No, I was very impressed. But yeah, what a season. Dude's a dog. And that is also my MVP. No offense to Lamar.
Tosin, what you feel about Saquon? Obviously, I know you think Lamar's MVP, as you should. But what do you think about Saquon's performance with this team?
Running backs matter. End of the day, I formation running backs matter all the time. And it's beautiful to see this man just get his flowers. Joe Sean deserves to run around in New York and New Jersey, both states, because I don't know how you let that man leave because he's incredible. And he's really bought into what Philly's selling. And it's a great, great running back. That's all it is with him. And I'm glad we're seeing it. But like you're saying, I think that's a great equalizer for the Chiefs too. Is like you going against Saquon is now you got a game plan differently. So he's great.
Bang, man, go ahead. What you think about Saquon Barkley? Y'all see that video of that older black guy like Saquon Barkley, man. Saquon Barkley.
I respect Saquon Barkley for more than what he did on the field. I respect him for bringing back the running back position. I respect him and Josh Jacobs having a conversation about bringing back the running back position. Running backs matter, man, and we've been saying this for a while. Saquon Barkley also is the MVP. I know we're in a quarterback-driven league and all of that stuff, yada, 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 yada. But you know when the NFL was amazing? When you looked at everybody for a chance of MVP. You could look at Dan Marino, Joe Montana. You could look at Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Steve McNair. But you could look at Sean Alexander. You could look at Barry Sanders. You can look at Adrian Peterson. You can look at all of these people. That's when the NFL is good. The pussification of the NFL starts with everybody wanting to have the MVP be a quarterback-driven award. The league was great when you had the running back as the first pick in the NFL draft sometimes. Sometimes they ended up like Kajana Carter. Sometimes they ended up like other running back greats. But the running back position, if done well, and the way that some of these defensive coaches play their safeties too far back, it gives you a chance to have a season like Saquon had. Not to mention that you got the best offensive line in the league. So, yeah, running backs matter. And I hope that young kids look and say, hey, no, we about to make this a position again. If you want to be like Reggie Bush and do it, fine. If you want to be a bruiser, like a Earl Campbell, that's cool too. If you want to be a hybrid of that, like Saquon is, do that too. But when I look at Saquon, I see old tapes of Walter Payton. I see old clips of that. That man cold. And the fact that he will not be MVP, knowing that this Eagles team wouldn't be what they was without his leadership either, it's bullshit.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line.